Okay, welcome back to the Dublin Academy of Maths. Now today we're going to do, here's some questions here, 26 to 31. Find the image of the following. Okay, under translation T. Now T is a translation, we're going to show you how to do that now. This is Series 7, Episode 4, and we're still on the line. This Series 7 will be totally on the line. We will do some leaving cert questions near the end. We're just building up now. Okay, so moving this along. Right. Okay, so this is Series 7, as I said, Episode 4. Now, the translation. Okay, so A is a point, 2, 1, right? And so I've minus 2, 2, pardon, minus 2, 2. And B is a point, 1, 1, okay? Now it says, this is the translation, okay? Now I'm going to, T is a translation and it's usually denoted by an arrow over top, okay? So let's have a look at this question. It says find the, let's look at this translation and see what happens. What happened to, first of all we have to find out what happened to this point to go to B, okay? So what happened to the x value? X from minus 1, minus 2 to 1. So it went up 3. Now you have to remember that. It's minus 1, minus 2, minus 1, 0 and then 1. Okay, so it's up 3. If you count them there on. So what happened to the y then? Y goes from 2 to 1. So y goes down 1. Okay, does everybody understand that? Right? Now that is the translation. This is the translation, T. Okay? Now find the image of C23 under T, the translation AB. Okay? Now it can be under this, the translation T, which denotes the arrow over that it has been translated. A to B. Well, okay, so what happened to C? What happened to the original? It goes up 3, X went up 3, so I have to do the same. Okay, I'm following the same translation. So C is 2, 3, so say it's out here. Okay, 2, 3, that's C. And so back to this, what happened to X? X went up 3, so 2 plus 3 is 5, and the Y went down 1, 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, 3 minus 1 is 2. So you've got the point 5, 2. So that's 5 for the X, that's 4, 5, 2 and 2 for the Y. So it's up, it's there. Okay, now there's a few things we want to note here about these lines. Okay, now so we have AB, this is the AB translation and this is the C to D, say, translation. So this is your final. Now what you must remember about these is these lines are equal in length. Now that's very important, okay? So these lines are equal in length, equal. Next is that their slopes are also equal. Length is equal. So we've got the length and the slope are equal. Now there's a lot can be deduced by that, giving certain questions, okay? Now remember that. Okay, now let's have a look at another one. Central symmetry in the origin. Okay, now find the image of the central symmetry in the origin. Find the image of C, which is 2, 3. Still on C, 2, 3. Well, that should be 3 by the way. So that's halfway there. That's 3. Okay, so let's bring this down. It's roughly about there. So find the central symmetry of the image 2, 3 under the central symmetry in the point minus 2, 2, which we've done. And well, okay, let's try that. So this under the same translation to minus 2, 2. Okay, it says find the image of. So find the image of C. I'm going to write this down because this is what's so confusing. Find the image of C under central symmetry of the point minus 2, 2. Okay, now in other words, we're going to go, C is 2, 3, so we're going to go through A actually in this one, right? So it's going to go through A and then out the other side, okay? So that this, So we're going to go from the distance, that distance should be equal to that distance. Okay, so now what happened to the x? Let's see what happened to the x. The x went under minus 2, so I can turn that off that. So what happened to the x? X went down 4. Do you see that? Okay, x went from 2 to minus 2, that's 4. Okay, not 0. Don't take them away, you see how many units they've moved. 3 went to 2, so y went down 1. Okay, now they can go up and down as you've seen before. So out the other side, so that's the point there. So out the other side, it goes the same distance, and the same distance is relevant to what the x's go up and the y's goes down. Okay, so minus 2 goes down by 4, so minus 2 and then minus 4 is minus 6. Okay, and y goes down 1, which is 1. So that's the new point, minus 6, 1. Okay, very good. Now let's try the C23. Now let's look at the S of C through the origin. Okay, this is how it's written. Through the origin of C. Okay, so you're going to go to 0, 0. Okay, so you can imagine it there going to 0, 0. And out the other side, what happens to the x? The x goes down 2 and the y goes down 3. And it's the same system again. Okay, so the x goes down 2, 0 minus 2 is minus 2. We're not taking them away, we're just looking at them. And down 3, it's just out in minus 3. Okay, and we have the formula for that as well for the origin. But anyway, you see what's happening here. This is translations. Okay, okay, so that's right, that's out the other side. So remember anyway that this is the new point of D. We'll call this ABCD. Right, so we'll just draw this through this here. So that's the origin. Okay, and you can see that the origin is minus 2, 3. Down here it should be minus 2, minus 3. And that's through the origin. Now I hope everything is clear here. Remembering that, looking at the questions here, it says right then, it says that, let's have just a quick look. Find the image of B under the translation AC. So AC would be going from A to 1 to C, which is 0, 4. Okay, and you have to put B under this symmetry, under this ruling. Okay, so B is minus 3, 2. So what happened to the x? The x went from 2 to 0, so the x went down 2. What happened to the y? It went from 1 to 4, so it went up. Y went up 3. And it's the same principle in minus 3, down 2, minus 5. And up 3 for the y, so that's 5. Okay, I hope you can see this. Now get used to this translation, all this arrows over. Okay, under the translation T. Okay, that seems to be everything. There's nothing else required. I hope you do those questions now. Let's look. Thank you.